Hello educators, my name is Josh Ochs, and what I'm about to show you is a video that I took of a presentation to 6th graders, 300 6th graders, and I want to tell you a little bit about how the assemblies work, because you're probably asking some questions. Josh, how do the social media assemblies work? How do the parent sessions work? First of all, our content works for kids between the ages of 8 and 18. It works in middle school and high school really, really well. And we inspire kids, instead of telling them what not to do and scaring them, we instead talk to them about their future. What you're about to see is me asking students to raise their hand and tell me what their dream school is. And we get them pumped up about their future, and we ask them, what do you think colleges want, positive or negative and stuff. And so they get to start making their own decisions. I'm not here to tell them what to do. I'm merely here to give them examples of things gone right and things gone wrong. Now, it's a 30-minute presentation. If you're in high school, it's typically 35 to 38 minutes. We have a few extra slides we throw on. But when they're younger and they're in 6th grade, we try and keep it shorter because they get a little antsy. So we usually do presentations where they start at 10 o'clock a.m. local time and 11 o'clock a.m. local time. That's usually when the students are more well-equipped to absorb the information, more positive. Although what you're about to see, the students are very positive to begin with. It was a little bit earlier in the day. So 10 and 11 a.m. start times is my professional recommendation. In the evening, what we're about to do tonight is give a 90-minute parent presentation. It starts between 6:30, or 7 p.m., and it goes for 90 minutes. We do a 5-minute intermission in the middle. We'll show a quick little couple videos in the middle of the presentation, so we make sure that the laptop is hooked up to audio as well. And what we do during the parent presentation is, for the first hour, we show them a bunch of parenting tips. We ask that the students not come to the parent session, because we open up all the bad apps, and we open up Pandora's box by showing parents, here's all the bad apps and here's what they look like. We show parents the green zone, the gray zone, and the red zone. The green zone being apps that are good for your students to someday be on. The apps that colleges and future employers actually want to find you on, and they expect you to be on. And we talk to them for 1 hour about a bunch of parenting tips, a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. Then we take a 5-minute intermission sometimes, and the last 30 minutes of bonus content is exactly what their students saw, so that the next day when they go home, they can say, hey student, hey daughter, hey son, I know what Josh taught you. He taught you this, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about how to search for yourself online. Let's search for our whole family. We teach parents how to dive in, so they know exactly what the students learned, and then they also know a bunch of background tactical tips on how to talk with their students and so on. So that's usually how it works. It's a 30-minute student presentation and a 90-minute parent presentation. We also bring some books with us usually if you get our full package. In addition, we give you a whole marketing kit on how to bring me to your school, so you make sure that parents are aware what time, what date, and sometimes we'll even build out a website, a web page where parents can register for free. They'll get a reminder email a few days before, and it auto adds it onto their calendar. We really want to make sure that we have the most comprehensive social media safety assembly for you. And we take it way beyond safety. We really try and motivate the student. You know, just one speech is not going to change the behavior of your students. But if we get you lots of homework videos before, if we give you a marketing kit that helps you motivate parents to come to the event, we have a great event that inspires your students and your parents to make a little bit of change. We hand out books at the beginning of the parent speech. And that's because my book, which I don't have one with me right now, my book, the last 5 pages are a notes area. It's full of tactical tips and hundreds of pages of good stuff. But you can also take notes during my speech, take it home, and it becomes a workbook. And that's really powerful. Also, something that we do that could be very powerful for your school is we record the parent session, kind of like what we're doing right now and what I'm about to show you. We record the parent session complimentary as a part of our package. We bring a high-def camera, and if you're on the East Coast or anywhere other than Los Angeles, you provide a tripod, and we will record it, we'll turn around, and we'll give you, within a week, a private link that you can use to share with your parents. And here's what that does for you. First, you're working hard to keep your kids safe, and you get a marketing kit to bring parents to the parent session, but what if they can't make it? Well, we give you this video, you can send it to everybody and say, hey, please watch this. So that after the event, if anybody has ever, heaven forbid there's a Snapchat issue, or maybe an Instagram issue, or cyberbullying, and one parent comes to you and says, hey, you're not keeping my kids safe, you don't care. Well, you can say, look, actually, here's our marketing kit. We gave you a month to change your schedule to come out and see this professional that we hired. We gave you all of his homework videos that included the issue that you discussed. And We also gave you a follow-up video of this gentleman at the venue in which we brought him. So we've done everything we can as educators. And I am here, Josh is here, to help you be the best educator you can be and keep your kids safe. So we talked about the student assembly that's between 30 to 40 minutes. Usually there's a 10-minute break if we can. We also talked about how we record the parent assembly. You get a marketing kit to bring your parents to school. You get homework videos before, you get homework videos after, all kinds of good stuff. It really is the most comprehensive solution that we've found. And also, as you know, your parents can join what's called, there's one extra thing that you should know about. In the speech, in the parent session, your parents get a free code so that they can join Footprint Friday complimentary. Now, it's a solution that helps them track their online presence of their students, and they get a free code so that they can make this a complimentary tool for their family. I'm Josh Ochs. Enjoy the video you're about to see. You can learn more at safesmartsocial.com. I'm really pumped to share this with you, and if nothing else, please join our newsletter and make sure you're getting our emails so that you can see what we do on a weekly basis to keep parents safe. Thanks so much. Have a great day, guys. Take care.
Good morning. Raise your hand if you're in 6th grade. Fantastic. Well, I'm so excited to be with you here today. Now, I only have a few minutes to spend with you. So for the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to give you 110% of myself. All that I ask is you do the same. Because for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how very good social media can be for your future. I'm not going to tell you what to do or that social media is bad, but in fact, I'm going to give you a bunch of good tips on how to use it in the future. Is that fair? Yeah. Okay, great. Now, how many of you are on Instagram? Raise your hand. Fantastic. We've got about 1/3 of the room. How many of us are on Snapchat? Raise your hand. Okay, about 15% of us. Great. Hands down, please. How many of us have our own cell phone? Raise your hand. Okay, about half the room. Fantastic. Okay, hands down, please. How many of us feel as though our parents give us a hard time about social media? Raise your hand. Okay, about 1/3 of the room. Great. Okay, hands down, please. Now, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to tell you a little bit about me, and then I'm going to give you a bunch of good ways that you can use social media in the future. So first, who is Josh Ochs? I ran for politics in Hermosa Beach, not too far from here, 6 years ago. I was the youngest person on the ballot. Here's me voting for myself on the day of the election in the voting booth. I was so nervous, but I'll tell you what I knew that I had that no other candidate had. As the youngest person on the ballot, I knew that when people would see at an event, when they'd see my bicycle with a sign on it of my name, when they'd see my sign at a building or at a house that agreed to put my sign in their lawn, or when they'd see my friends put my signs on their bike, I knew that people would ask one thing. They'd say, hey, we met Josh in person, and he seemed wholesome, but I want to learn more about him. And I knew that they would go to one place online. Does anyone know where that's at? Yes. They'd go to social media. Specifically, they'd go to Google, and they would search my name, right? And today, I'm here to tell you exactly how I was able to create the very best Google results for myself. You see, your social media can be a very positive thing. A lot of adults have been afraid of it, but I'm here to show you how I almost won an election. I only lost by 350 votes against the incumbent mayor because in person, I worked really hard to take good care of people and be nice. And online, it was in line with all of those values. I shined online, and I'm here to give you all of my tactical tips that you can use. It works exactly the same for colleges, future employers, politics, and 6th graders. Is that fair? Yeah. All right, raise your hand if you're talking with your parents about college or you have your dream college in mind. Raise your hand. Anybody? Okay, most of the room. Fantastic. I want to hear from 4 of you. What is your dream college? Real quick. Yes. UCLA. All right. Yes, young man. LSU. All right. Let's. Yes. MIT, and then one more. Young man over here. University of Wisconsin. Okay, hands down, please. Okay, guys, let me have your attention here real quick, please. So, you know where you want to go someday, and I want to show you exactly how social media can help you get there. Do you think that your dream college is going to search for you online when they want to learn more about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. So here's what I want to show you. I want to show you exactly how you can search for yourself and how you can monitor your online image so you know exactly where you sit. Now, you're only in 6th grade, but it's never too early. So first of all, I wrote a book called Light, Bright, and Polite After Politics, and I traveled the country teaching these exact same tips to the world's biggest brands, teaching them. And one brand asked, they said, hey, will you please teach high schoolers how to use these social media tips to impress colleges? So I wrote a second book, and today I'm going to give you the best stuff from the second book. But this isn't just for college. You see, this works when you want to get a job at one of these big companies. These are companies that my staff has advised, but here's where I started my career. You want me to show you?
Yeah.
All right, I started my career right here at Walt Disney Studios. When I was young, the first few years, and this is what I want for all of you. I want you to have the opportunity to go to the best school that you want and go to the company that you want someday. And we're going to use social media to get there. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Great. What does light, bright, and polite look like? Well, great question. I'm about to show you how colleges will perceive you someday and adults will perceive you online. Now, the one theme is they're going to ask, how positive is this person online? You see, they've never met you, and you're probably an amazing person here at school. You volunteer, you work, you help others, you're kind to others. But what you look like online may be fun and games right now, but that's what they're going to look at to judge who you are as a person. So what I want to do is put 2 celebrities up on the screen. You know both celebrities, and it's going to be silly. You're going to giggle at first. But the moral of the story is we're going to ask which one is more positive in each one of their tweets. So are you ready? Let's play a game called Miley Cyrus versus Taylor Swift. Okay. Now, while we're looking at Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift on Twitter, we're also going to ask ourselves which one is more positive, because guess what? The college of your dreams is looking. USC, UCLA, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, local community colleges, everybody's watching because they want to know if they invite you to join their organization, are you positive? And that's really what I hear from them all the time. So let's go ahead and find out exactly how Miley Cyrus would upset her teacher. Let's find out how Miley Cyrus would disappoint her coach, how she would be dramatic online, how she would upset her cheer team. I want to show you exactly what she would do. And then last, if you've ever wanted to know exactly the tweet that you can send to get fired, I'm going to show you that too. So here we go. First of all, how would Miley upset her teacher? Well, she would say this. She'd say, this class is so lame, why am I not at home sleeping, right? Versus, I'm excited for the weekend, right? Now you tell me, when colleges are looking at her, or these 2 people, and they both have great grades, and they're both well-rounded, which one do they want on their campus? Anybody, is it left or right? Perfect, next. How to upset your coach? Miley Cyrus would say, the other football team sucks, I hope they lose. Versus, we're up by 24 points, go team. Now, how many of us want to play sports in college? All right, cool, most of the room, hands down please. Do you think that a sports team, if you're applying for a competitive sports team, do you think that they're going to search for you online before they accept you? Yeah, they are. Who do you think that they want here? Do they want the positive or the negative person? Positive, exactly. How to be dramatic. Hey, Steve, I'm glad we broke up. You're a jerk and you made me cry. Oh, Steve. Versus, I'm so lucky that I have great friends to support me. Now, once again, you decide which one's more positive or negative. All right, how to upset the cheer team. Here we go. Miley Cyrus is going to show us exactly how to do this. Our cheer team needs help. Sally keeps falling. Poor Sally. Versus next year, I'm trying out for the cheer team. Now, colleges ask all the time, we need people that are a part of the solution, not the problem. You tell me which one is a part of the solution, the one on the left or the one on the right? Left, exactly. Now, I want to talk to you about a company called Cisco. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of Cisco. Okay, hands down, please. Now, I don't work with this firm, they've never paid me. However, I want to tell you a story that I think is interesting. That it's an adult story. And I normally only share this with high schoolers, but I want to show you how to get fired from Cisco. So, first of all, who has the best friend in the room? Raise your hand. Great, okay, hands down. Now, do you guys know how a best friend is made? Or how you found your best friend? You bump into people all day long here at school, and you learn, hey, I want to do my homework with this person, and on the weekends I want to hang out with the same person. Pretty soon you realize you want to hang out with one or two people more than everybody else. But what if I told you when you work at a big company, you have 72,000 chances to meet more best friends? It's social. There's all kinds of people. You can have lots of friends. Next, if you want to, who wants to travel in the future? Anybody want to travel? Great. All right, hands down. What if I told you that this one company has 65 plus countries where you could go and do the work and visit them and do the work in those countries? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, and then last, if you're tired of asking your parents for the latest iPhone or the latest tablet, there's enough revenue in there probably to have a great salary for you to go buy the iPhone of your dreams whenever you want. And last, they make really cool technology. Over 300 million households in the US alone are powered by some of their stuff. It's Wi-Fi, it's video, it's all kinds of neat stuff. Do you think this is a good place to start out your career for the first 2 years out of college? Yeah, we have somebody very excited up here in the front. I think so too. But let me show you how to get fired from them. So here we go. This young woman, she applied for a job there. And she filled out her application, and they called her a week later. And they said, hey, it looks like you went to a great school, you have good grades, a great college, good grades. Thank you for the application. We love what we see. Can we invite you to come in for a first round interview? And this is what I want for all of you. You're all wholesome people, you're great, you're working hard, that's awesome. I want you, with your unique qualities, to be able to shine and get an interview so that you can shine in person. Because once you're at that stage, you'll do the rest on your own. This young woman got that opportunity. She did very well in the interview. They called her a week later and they said, hey, your application was great. You did really well in the interview. We would like to offer you a job, a salary, benefits, a cell phone, all this neat stuff. And they said, we'd like to offer you the chance to come and be a part of the Cisco family. She said, great, I'd love to join, thank you. She hung up the phone, and what do you think she did next? Yeah, she went to Twitter. Here's the exact tweet that she sent. She said, Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh the fat paycheck against the daily commute and hating the work. Now, do you think that Cisco saw this tweet? Yeah. Do you think that companies listen to their name online on Twitter and Instagram even if you don't mention the @ sign and tag them before their name? Yeah, they do listen to their name. That's because they want to know if you're upset with their product. You see, they make products that go in homes and businesses, and they want to know if you're upset with it so that you won't tell your friends, but instead they can call you and help you fix the product. Here's how they responded to this young woman. They said, who is the hiring manager? I'm sure they would love to know that you will hate the work. We here at Cisco are versed in the web. Essentially saying, hey, the internet is powered by Wi-Fi and all these neat devices, and we build those, so it's not too hard for us to get on the internet as well. We're listening, and we saw this, and if you don't want to work here and you announce that on social media, well, we're listening, so we'll make sure that you don't get that opportunity. Unfortunately, before she ever got the chance to see how fat the paycheck was, or perhaps how long or short the commute was, this opportunity vanished faster than a Snapchat photo. It just went poof, and it was gone forever, right? Now you should be saying, Josh, you're being way too hard on this young woman. She could probably go interview anywhere else. She went to a good school, she got great grades, you said. She could interview anywhere else, but do you think the next company is going to search for her online and Google her? Yeah, they are, and here's what they're going to find. If they search for her name, they'll find her new resume, which is her Google first page, is now cluttered with people that wrote about this. You see, this incident was picked up by CNN, ABC News, NBC News, Huffington Post, and now she seems online as somebody that complains. Do you think that looks positive? No, it's not positive, right? So when you look at her online, she seems like less than a positive person. She could be very positive, but this one tweet sent her down a different direction. Now, I want to share with you my 3 favorite words that almost got me elected to politics and keep me out of trouble online. Is that fair? Before I ever press send on Snapchat or Instagram, I ask myself, is this something that's light? Is it positive? Is it fun? If it is, check. Is this something that's bright? Is this, Josh, be careful before you post it. Are you going to be smart? Think first, are you going to get fired from Cisco before you ever get the chance to go in the office? If it's bright, then check. And last, is this something that's polite? Am I proud of it? If my principal sees it, my parents see it, my friends see it, and so on. If it is, then it's light, bright, and polite. You guys mind saying that with me on the count of 3, light, bright, and polite? 1, 2, 3. Light, bright, and polite. Thank you. Awesome. So raise your hand if you know how to hit the 2 buttons on your phone and take a screenshot. Anybody know how to do that? Okay, great. Most of the room. Terrific. Hands down, please. Now you know that if you take a screenshot of a picture, if you're FaceTiming with somebody and you take a screenshot of it, it takes something that was very temporary and makes it a lot less than temporary. It puts it in your camera roll so that all of a sudden you can share that photo with anyone. You can forward it, do anything with it, right? We all know that, and you can do that also with Snapchat. But Josh, we all know that. Okay, good. Well, let me tell you a story where I almost got one of my friends in trouble, but I have one little feature that keeps me from getting my friends in trouble. Here's what I did. This is my friend Blake. Now, Blake sent me a happy birthday Snapchat video one day. He sang me happy birthday. And I watched most of the video, and I used another app to download the video and send it to him in a text message. So let me repeat that. I downloaded the video using another app, and I sent it back to him via text, and I said, this is my favorite. Can I share this on my Facebook page? Not so that he could play it once or for 24 hours, but so he could play it 1,000 times if he wanted to, right? It's outside of Snapchat. He called me with a look on his face and said, what did you just do? How did you download my video? I said, I used another app. There's a bunch of them out there. You can just download Snapchat videos and make it so people can watch them 1,000 times. May I share that on my Facebook page? And he said, didn't you watch the end of the video? No. And I said, no, what's at the end of the video? Because I asked, he was able to say, no, there's stuff I don't want on there. It turns out at the end of the video, he said, hey, your birthday is today, but tomorrow, Josh, the surf is huge. Josh, why don't I ditch work, call in sick, lie to my employer, and we'll go surfing to celebrate your birthday? If I shared that on my Facebook page with thousands of followers, do you think that his employer may have seen that? Yeah, they would have. So thanks to me, I'm so thankful that I was able to ask him for permission first. Because we send more Snapchats to our friends than we do anybody else. We can still get our friends in big trouble, and I could have gotten Blake in big trouble. But I asked first, right? Okay, next. And that's because, well, I'll tell you that in a second. But what about event pictures? Raise your hand if you go to birthday parties a lot. Anybody? Okay, cool, hands down. So I have a little technique that I use. It's called controlling my phone, using my phone to control my image. Now, I'm going to need a volunteer. Can you come up and volunteer here real quick? Yeah, come on up. What is your name? Quinn? I'm Josh. Nice to meet you. All right, this is Quinn. So here's what I'm going to do. Quinn is going to hang out here for just 1 second. I want to give you a little tip that almost got me elected to politics. It helps me manage my image better than anyone else, and Quinn's going to help us out with this. You see, here's what I do. When someone says, Josh, I want to take a photo of all of us at an event. If I'm at a barbecue, a birthday party, or anything else, here's what I immediately do. I pull out my phone, which many of us have, and I go straight to the camera app with just 1 click. I open up the camera app and I tell my friends, I say, hey, my phone is ready. Here we go, let's use my phone. And what I do is I find an innocent person that looks like they're not going to steal my phone and run away. And I say, can you use my phone to take 4 or 5 photos? I'll probably blink in one. And I ask this person, please take a photo of me and my friends, right? And then I ask my friends, I say, hey, would you mind, just for this 1 photo, not acting like Miley Cyrus? Don't put your tongue out, don't do the peace sign, but instead let's be classy so that I can show this to your principal. And she'll say, wow, I'm so proud of my 6th graders. Is that fair? Do I have your agreement there? Yeah. Great, let's do this. Quinn, can you back up just a little bit and take about 5 photos of us? Just snap a picture. All right, let's smile and be classy. That's great. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for Quinn. Thank you. So at the end of the day, who's the one with the photos at the end of the day in their phone? Is it my friends or is it me? It's me, right? I get to pick the one that I'm going to post, is it the one where we look silly or dorky or wild, or is it the one where not only my friends look great on the sides, but I look great in the middle? It's me and my new dress. And here's why. Here's the moral of the story. Colleges tell me this all the time. They say, look, it's not about how many photos you post. It's not about how many pictures you took at a birthday party. It's about the quality of the photos, how great your friends look. Because unfortunately, if our friends are wild, even if we're wholesome in the photo, do you think that's good for us or bad for us? It's bad, yeah. So I want you to help your friends shine online, and I want you to help yourself shine online and manage your own brand with this little technique. Okay, and that's because every photo and post that you send or share, even if you think it's private, is like a button on an elevator. It either takes you up or it takes you down, unfortunately. Now raise your hand if you've Googled yourself in the last month. Anybody? Okay, cool, awesome, hands down. Raise your hand if you've Googled your parents in the last month. More students. Raise your hand if you've ever Googled one of your teachers at this school. Anyone? Okay. About 10% of us. All right, hands down. Now, I normally only share, you know what, I was going to skip this. I was only going to share this with high schoolers. Do you want me to show you the 5 ways colleges to search for you? I'll skip this. Is that okay? Okay. All right, I'll show it to you. All right, here we go. So first of all, you can do this at home. Your parents do not know this. I want you to consider teaching your parents how this works. Is that fair? This is secret. These are secrets I'm only going to share with you. First of all, colleges will go to Google, and you can do the same thing. Start with Google. You have it on your phone. You have it at home. It's free. Go to Google and search for your first name plus your last name. This is what they're going to search for. They'll search for your first name and last name because they have it on your college application. Now, don't put the little plus sign in there. But first name and last name means, hey, Google, find my first name or my last name anywhere on a website, right? It could be reverse order, front order, they could be far away from each other, and so on. But do you think colleges are going to find tons of other people? Yeah, they're going to find all kinds of other people. They're going to get frustrated. If they do get frustrated, they're then going to put first name plus last name in quotes without the plus sign. They're going to put it in quotes because that tells Google, hey Google, find my first name Josh plus a space plus my last name and find it in that order. And it's going to tie it into just some smaller results. If they still get annoyed and they find all kinds of other people, here's what they'll do next. They'll search for first name plus last name plus city, the city where you're applying from, which could be this city. And if they still can't find you, then they're going to search for first name plus last name plus school. And these are all things you can do to see what your online image is, to see if any of your Instagram pictures are public, to see if it's something you shared is not appropriate online. Next, colleges are going to search for your first name, your middle name, and your last name to see what they can find. And last, how many of us have an email address? Raise your hand. Okay? All right, hands down, please. How many of us are proud of the email address we had? Like we could share it publicly with somebody and it would say it's your name, it's not Swimmer174. You guys proud of it? Okay, good. Great. All right. They're going to search for your email address because you put it usually on your application. Okay? Now, let me show you how they would search for me. They would search for Josh Oaks in quotes, Josh Oaks Santa Monica, Josh Oaks Santa Monica High School, Josh Oaks Disney Studios where I used to work, and so on. And they would start searching for that. You can do the same thing today with your parents' permission and go look at your online image and see what comes up and know what's there. Okay, great. Let's look at me real quick. Here's me in the upper left, and here's me in the upper right. Two different search results that are very similar because I post so much in a positive way that Google returns them exactly the same. Now, you've got my personal website, a bunch of pictures that I'm proud of, and then LinkedIn, and then, oh, look at that, that's Twitter. Whoa, Twitter's on my first page of Google results? That's because Twitter and Google, they talk to each other and they share data. So if someone searches for your name and you have a Twitter account under the same name, it will all of a sudden share all of your tweets. Now, I have nothing to hide. So it's okay that they're doing that because everything that I share is light, bright, and polite. But you have to ask yourself, are you proud if your Twitter account, your Instagram, or something else appears on your first page? Next. Here's me with my high school, the school that I went to, and then here's me in the city that I live in. Different Google results. One of them shows a video that I'm proud of, but I didn't know that it was there. And next, Here's me with my middle name and me with my email address, and I've gone through all of these results, right? So these are techniques that your parents don't know, and these are things that you can show them how to research yourself online, clean up your online image, and also protect your parents. Now, I want to walk you through some of my friends and how they search for themselves online, but first I want to show you how many of us have a private account on Instagram or anything else? Okay, good, most of us. Terrific. Hands down, please. Now, it's very good to have a private account. That's very smart of you. But if you're applying for something or trying to get into a volunteer organization or something, going to college, and your profile is still private, which is fine, do you feel comfortable after you fill out your application and when you're going into the interview, do you feel comfortable printing out your Instagram account or anything else, Twitter, and saying, hey, I filled out my application, you know who I am on paper, I worked hard to be well-rounded, but what you don't know is who I am on the weekends. And if you can print that out and take that in and say, hey, I volunteer, I babysit, I travel, and I'm proud of every photo that I have on my account, then you're moving in the right direction. If you can't, if you're not proud and you think if it's overwhelmingly selfies and this, then we got a few years to work on your online image. Does that make sense? Great, okay. Now I want to show you some of my friends and how they post online. Is that fair? Okay, here's my friend Camille. Camille works at one of the world's largest digital agencies. She's very light, bright, and polite, and she's at a Dodgers game, and instead of talking about herself, she instead says, thank you to my friends for inviting me to join them in these great seats. She says, thank you to others. Classy photo, no peace sign, it's not a selfie, she brings other people in, right? And when her employer or college or her friends see that, they go, wow, she's very inclusive. This is great, very positive. Next, this is Rich DeMuro. He's on KTLA Channel 5 News. Rather than Rich talking about how great he is and how much he's good at technology, he instead volunteers. He brings other people in and he sends a positive post that says, thank you to this Shelter Hope Pet Shop for letting us share some of our tech tips with you. Right? He's volunteering. Now, does he take a few selfies maybe? Perhaps, and that's fine. We're all normal. A few selfies is fine. But if you put a few of these in there, all of a sudden you look very positive, as though you're including other people. Next, this is my friend Lisa on the far right. She works at Disneyland. She runs marketing for Disneyland. She's on Disneyland's campus all day long in the park. But instead of taking a selfie of herself riding one of the rides, which she could do, she instead includes a lot of her friends and sends a really positive post saying, special thanks to my team at Disneyland for all that they do to make dreams come true, right? She includes others in a few of her posts. Yeah, there's a couple selfies and that's fine. And last, if you've ever wanted to be in the Miss America pageant, consider being like my friend Kelsey on the far left, Miss Utah here. Instead of saying, yeah, Miss Utah, I just won, she includes people in, she sends a positive post, and she says thank you to others. She says thank you to my friends who supported me over the last year in the Miss America pageant, right? Now, let me show you two more posts. This is Camille in backyard in an Easter egg hunt. She brings her family in on it and says it's days like this that make me thankful, right? You can take a few selfies, but these emphasize things that are different, that are inclusive, and they're positive. Now, last, raise your hand if you have a dog, a cat, or a fish at home. Great. Hands down, please. How many of you have ever taken a picture with your dog, your cat, or your fish, or your hamster? Awesome. Great. Here's my family, and here's our dog. These are my parents and their dog. Now, do you think that people like dogs if they see your application in a photo? Are they going to ask about your dog? Yeah, people ask me all the time, is that your dog? I go, no, it's my parents' dog. What's his name, right? And they want to talk to me about that. You have something at home that is very valuable. You have pets. So you can include your pets in your photos in a positive way. Okay, now I want to show you two last photos. This young woman just was accepted to college, but even though she was accepted to college, she went and toured her college to see how very big or small her dorm was. And when she got accepted, even before she moved in, she knew you're not in even if you're in, right? The Cisco thing, you're accepted to a job, you still need to be positive online. Instead of being negative, she posts this. She says, I had so much fun at my college visit to KU today. I'm ready for next year. Now, she could have complained about how very small the dorm room was going to be, where she's going to live, and all how scared she was, but no, she posted something positive, right? Now, this is my last photo for you. This young man knew so very much that he wanted to get discovered by adults and colleges, and he knew that he had nothing to hide. Even though there's a few selfies, that's fine, and a few of his posts made him look very normal, that's great. He made sure his online image was good, and then he changed his Twitter account to his real name. When he's ready, when your parents are ready, when you're 16 or so, he changed it to his real name, and he wrote a handwritten note, and he said this. He said, "Dear colleges, please accept me. I'm a good person. Sincerely, Jonathan." Now, he wrote this handwritten little note. He shared it on Twitter. And adults saw this, and they started writing positively about it. They said, why does this young man understand that adults understand, and colleges understand that you're normal. You can have fun. You're going to have a few selfies. That's fine. But overwhelmingly, we just want you to know that you need to be positive online. This young man has nothing to hide. We know that if we go through his posts, he's normal. He watches TV. He tweets about it in a positive way. And this young man, in a positive way, got picked up by newspapers. And now, colleges look at him in a really, really positive way because he's not hiding. He's saying, hey, look, there's going to be a lot of other people that come up under my name. I want you to know exactly who I am. Does that make sense? Here's my little secret formula. Make sure you volunteer somewhere. It could be an animal shelter. It could be volunteering at the school, in the community. It could be walking a neighbor's dog. And when you're doing that, consider taking a classy group photo, not a Miley Cyrus photo, classy group photo, and saying thank you to this organization or to my friends for giving me the opportunity to do this activity. All right, guys, you've been great. Thanks for having me out. Thanks for letting me share my message. Take care.